Terry, what would you say after an afternoon like that?
Well, I think the first thing I've got to do is you've got to congratulate Chesterfield. I thought them in the second half. I thought first half, our set up, our game plan, everything worked well. They're a really good footballing side, and what we've seen, they've been playing in between the lines of teams and causing them problems, and you can see why they're in the playoffs. They're one of the best teams that's come down here for a little while. So I thought first half worked really well. We took our goal well, but we really sort of struggled, especially in the wide areas. You know, they one thing we did know is that they get a hell of a lot of crosses into the box, and we needed to stop that, and we had to make a couple of tactical adjustments because they seem to be getting down our right hand side a lot, so we moved Liam over to the other side, and then we sort of quelled that a little bit, and then you know, we come out in the second half, so we say 1-0. We have to make sure that we come out in the second half, don't do what we've been doing in recent games. Then we go and get another goal, so we're in dream world, enjoying ourselves, and then it was a stupid set play we give away. Then as soon as that goal went in, it seemed it was, you know, that back to the old thing of where we've been, the fear setting. We tried to make a change so that we could get a little bit higher up the pitch, but then I thought Chesterfield was excellent. I thought they played some good stuff. They moved their fullbacks up really high, and we struggled to contain with them. And then their next two goals, there was not much you could do about that. It was, I know we could sort of half a go at people about little mistakes and that, but you know, they're a really strong side, and you know, fair play to them.
We said in commentary a number of times this season that you've conceded goals quickly, as in back-to-back goals, one after another. Can you put your finger on why it happens?
No, well, I spoke with Chris before the game and said that we tried something a little bit different today, and as soon as we come out in the second half, we looked to get the space in behind them and the territory and turn them. But there was a couple of, maybe with players being at different clubs that maybe play a bit differently, they was trying to slide raw balls up the side rather than just finding the grass. And in the second half, when we got a bit more tired, it was harder to win the ball back because they're a really good footballing team, and they exploited us. You know, they exploited us with that. They kept the ball well, and when you got the quality of people like Gary Roberts, O'Shea, who I've always liked, even when he was at MK Dons, and Clucas with his sort of never say die running, we got penned in. So you know, we've got to take that on the chin. Of course, where we've been and where we are in this current climate, it's really hard and it's tough to take. But you know, the supporters were good. You know, even when the first goal went in, you could hear the songs of you know, how rubbish you must be because we 1-0 up, stuff like that, and I can understand that. But the players are they're giving it their all. They're trying their best, but you know, we're just not good enough at the moment.
Is there anything you can say in the dressing room to pick them up at the moment, or are they really low?
Yeah, well, it's tough because when you're giving it your all and you're still coming up short, you know, I thought the way that we went into the game tactically, the way that we set up, the way that we identified their strengths and also their weaknesses, we think we're giving the right information across. We're doing the right sessions. We're preparing them in the right way. But when you come up short, you just come up short. And then when you get yourself into this situation, it's all about, can the players dig in? Can they go that extra bit? And it just seems that we just haven't got that at the moment.
There seemed to be a bit of frustration at the final whistle from the fans. There was a few boos. Yeah. You can understand that?
Well, I think if you go around any Football League club, I've seen teams at the top, and when they get beat, the fans boo. So that's just the normal reaction now. I understand that, but it's been ongoing. As I said before in many interviews, we've been on a losing run now for 2 years, and with runs like this that's been intermittent between that, and the players have not given up. They're trying, as you can see with us, you know, going 2-0 up, but what you can't legislate for is confidence and people that, you know, people that are not doing their jobs at the right time, and we're getting punished severely every time we make mistakes.
And finally, you've got not much space between now and the next game away at Fleetwood. Your thoughts ahead of that one on Easter Monday? I mean, I think all but goal difference, it could be all over coming the end of that game. I mean, how do you look forward to that?
Look forward?
Well,
no, we know where we are. We know how tough it is. But what you've got to do is you've got to go there. I mean, today we're against, as I said, I think one of the best sides that's come down here, footballing sides that's come down here in a long time, and that includes all the teams that are, you know, going for automatic. For us, it's picking ourselves up, making sure we recover and we go again, because it's another team that's pushing in that top half, and you know, it's probably a bad scene from me personally as a manager before, because I think we was 2 goals up with about 3 minutes to go, and Fleetwood come back into draw in the FA Cup against us last time, and in the next game we got beat here, and my job was finished, and I went back to being an assistant manager. So we'll see what the omens say after this next game.
With the fact that you were 2 up, is that as bad as you felt, given the fact that you had that advantage, which you haven't really had in recent games?
Yeah, I mean it is bad because of all the preparation, everything you do, but you can't legislate for the goals that we have been conceding. But I think I've been really sort of mindful of the position that we have been. We wasn't scoring enough goals. So what we've had to do is we've had to adjust the team in different areas to try and give the supporters goals and something to get behind. But in doing that, we've been a little bit more exposed and leaving ourselves open, because earlier on in the season we was getting beat by the odd goal, 1s and 2s, a hell of a lot, but we wasn't getting enough goals. So under me, what I've been trying to do is throw more numbers forward, get people to have a little bit more of a gamble. But when you've got teams that are real good sort of counter-attack teams like Chesterfield, and we give them that first goal, then you could see the confidence in the boys really drain. And at times in the first half they penned us back in with their fullbacks getting high, and we dealt with that, but our first pass was better. In the second half, when the boys got a little bit more tired, they was conceding too much possession, and we wasn't counter-attacking as well as what we was doing in the first half. And you know, the goal seemed to really drain the boys of confidence.
Looking ahead to Fleetwood, Terry, how do you improve morale with such a short gap between the 2 games?
I just think the players are professional. They understand, they know, and they know that people are going to be travelling up. It's because it's right on the doorstep of Blackpool. I think there's a lot of people that will be going up and spending the weekend there. So we've got to try and put on a performance for them. But we've got to get back to trying to keep clean sheets at least during a game. Us conceding 3 goals at home is really disappointing. But saying that, I was really pleased with the manner of our goals. I thought our 2 goals we scored today were real quality. First of all, the ball from Gozzi that put James Hayter in, and then secondly, I think it was AJ, wasn't it? It was AJ that put the ball through to Sam Foley. So I was really pleased on that front, but bitterly disappointed to concede 3 goals, or albeit against a team that's, you know, very deadly in their attacking as well.
And are you expecting a similar sort of game with Fleetwood also going for the playoffs as you had today?
Yeah, that's right. But you know, I think we've got to go through all that tomorrow. I've been taking 1 game at a time, so I don't want to start talking about the tactics and what we've got to be looking forward to for the next game. You know, I'm still hurting after the last game, and you know, everything it seems we're trying. We've changed formations, tactics, personnel. Everything we've tried, and it's still coming up short. So for us, it's that thing of, you know, the group of players that we've got have got to trying to keep clean sheets, being harder to beat, and then if we have performances like that, attacking wise and getting them goals, we want them to be there for us to try and win games, rather than, you know, us end up coming on the back of a 3-2 defeat.